Okay, now let's take a look at how to hook up your OBS Studio to your stream. So once you have downloaded and installed OBS Studio, you can go ahead and open that. And then in here, you should be able to go to your preferences or settings down here in the controls. You can see there's a settings button. Click settings right there. And then down here, the second option is called stream. So in stream, what we want to do is we want to switch to YouTube for streaming. We can use the primary YouTube server, and then right here, that's where we want to paste in our stream key, which we copied from YouTube. And then you should be able to click OK on that. Now you will still need to set up things in here you'll still need to set up your scenes in here in order to start streaming, but as you can see, I'm recording my whole desktop. So the way that we can enable that is you can basically create a new scene. Let's call it Cotizel NatCon so that we can keep that separate from other scenes that we may have. So once you create a new scene, then you need to add sources over here. So to add sources, we can click this button here, and there are many things that we can add here. So for example, I will add a video capture device first. And this one, I can add a new one. Let's call this my webcam because I haven't hooked that up yet. So let's click OK. And then in here, we should be able to find a webcam if we've got it hooked up. And it says OBS would like to access the camera. Let's click OK. There we go. So now we've got my camera hooked up. And then I'll just leave it at the default, I suppose. This is the highest resolution that this particular camera is able to record. And so when you're recording your video, instead of looking at the screen down here, it's better to be looking at the camera itself because that's where your audience is. And so you want to make sure to address your audience and not address the screen. Then people feel like you're interacting with them, but here people don't feel like you're interacting with them very well. So let's go ahead and click OK on that. That's our webcam. And then we can click, we can move this around the screen wherever we want it. I can even shrink it to have like my face up in the corner if I want. Let's add another thing. We could add an image if we wanted. I will add a new image. And I can browse for some image. Let me go to my desktop. Yes, I would like to let it access that. Let me add the same image that I had before. So you can see here that I am now able to put in images and move them around on my screen as I wish. And in the sources, if I want one source to be over the top of another source, I need to click it and drag it above that source, and then you can still see that my face can appear over that background. So this would be, for example, a scene that I would set up to transition between just a wallpaper where I could play some audio. We might need to add some audio, maybe a media source that could play together with this. Let's go ahead and go with add a media source. We could add some kind of an MP3 if we wanted to. Click OK. And then in here, you can see that you can add a local file that should be able to play something. So we could probably use a local file. Like here are the media types that we could use. We could use audio files if you want, video files, or all media file types. Let me just show you really quick what it would look like if I added a video. So if I add a video, like a video that I recorded earlier about setting up the live stream, then we can click OK, and then this is the video live stream, and I can even shrink this and I can put that somewhere else on the page, and then this video would play at the same time as the background and the webcam and things like that. So this is how we can create really dynamic scenes in OBS Studio. You can also add like a logo up here. You could add title, text down here. There are so many sources that you can add that it's really useful to be adding those sources. So if we want to stream something, for example, we already have a video that we want to stream, then why don't we click here, the VLC video source, if you've installed Well, if you've installed VLC Video Player, then you can use a VLC video source. Otherwise, you may need to just use a media source and then play the media file. So let's add a video source. And here are some options for visibility. Let's add some items to our playlist. We can add some files to our playlist, and then we'll take some video that we recorded from earlier. For example, the video that you made for the COTISL presentation. Maybe what you have is you have a 1 megabyte introduction from the National Conference chair or something. You have a 1-minute introduction to yourself, and then you have your video presentation. So you can click both of these. Let's go ahead and open a introduction. We'll call this the introduction. And let's open the longer video file that you have created for yourself. And then what it will do is it will play these files in order. Let's click OK on that. And then we've got a VLC video source. And so what we're going to do is we're going to make this full screen right here, the VLC video source. In fact, what you might want to do is you might want to create a new scene over here. So we could say COTISL NatCon video. And then in here, what we can do is we can add that VLC video source that we had before. Add existing. Let's use the same VLC video source we had before. So this will be the video that I created with the introduction and my video. And you can click settings to make sure. We have the introduction here. We have the longer video here. And we don't probably need to loop the playlist on that. Click OK. So now we have a video, and then we also have, and you can see that it's playing a little bit as I'm going through it. We also have over here the regular NatCon scene. So what I can do is I can remove this video source here by clicking the eye. If I click the eye, then it'll come back to me like this. And even I could remove the image. Nope, I could remove the webcam. I could remove even though it says MP3, it was actually a video source right there. So what you could do is you could have just an image and an MP3 playing right here as you start your live stream. And then when you're ready to play your video, you just switch over to the NatCon video scene, and then it will begin playing your scene like this. And you should be able to see down here that the VLC video source is playing some volume, and that will show you that everything is going off according to plan. So we can also change our transitions between scenes if we want, like this. And that's basically how you can set up your scenes for OBS Studio to get that going on. So remember, in settings, we have our stream. We need to change this to YouTube. We need to import our stream key. And once this is ready, we can click Start Streaming. So once you click Start Streaming and you have a green light here, then you're going to need to return to OBS Studio. You're going to need to return to your live stream on YouTube in here. And then you can see that our stream status now says excellent. Our stream is healthy. We can check our stream settings over here, and then we should be ready to go live. So we can go live right here like this, and it will show us that we're going live. And then it shows that we are live right now. It has an excellent connection, and etc., etc. So that is how you should be able to play a video through OBS Studio into a YouTube live stream. I hope that makes sense. There's a little bit of work to get it ready, but as you can see, I'm live streaming right there. The video that I recorded earlier about setting up a live stream. And so I hope that that's all helpful. And just my biggest recommendation is, why don't you practice this a little bit by yourself first, and make sure that you can get it all set up, make sure that you can get it all running. And then when you think that you're ready, then you can take it live and make sure that everything's going according to plan like this. So good luck with your live stream, and I hope that this was an informational and informative and helpful video. When you're done, you can go ahead and click End Stream. And you will be able to edit this in the studio if you want. Once your stream is all finished, you can see that's the beginning of the stream. I was live for 1 minute, and now I am able to even edit things. I'm able to trim things if I want, and I can even change some of the details of this particular video that's now recorded. And if I want to, I can make it public, unlisted, or even private. I should be able to even delete it if I don't want it any longer. So I hope that this was a very nice introductory tutorial to how to set up live streaming, including the webcam, including streaming through a third-party software. I hope that it was informative and helpful, and please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks. And one final thing that I forgot to mention is when you stop the live stream on YouTube, don't forget to go back to your OBS Studio and stop the live stream on OBS Studio. You can see that my video here is still continuously playing, even though YouTube Live is now turned off. So we want to go back to OBS Studio and stop the streaming. Looks like mine just crashed for some reason, but you want to stop the streaming. After YouTube, stop the streaming on OBS Studio as well.